Welcome to this week's episode of No Cover Music Magazine here at 707 13th Street in Phoenix City, Alabama at American Guitar Boutique. This week we have one of the players on the Songwriter Showdown, Mr. Tommy Gordon. Going to play some music for you and everything. Welcome to the show, Tommy.
Thank you, Tim. It's great to be here.
Really appreciate you. So you've just moved into town recently. What do you think about our little Rivertown community?
I love it. I instantly have made new friends, and of course a granddaughter. I have a new granddaughter, and that's what brought me and Vicki down here. But we love living in Waverly Hall. We come down to town all the time. We support the River Center. We try to support as much local business as we can, and do. My daughter sings in the Cantus Columbus Choir.
Awesome.
And her husband is high school football coach, so we have a lot of entertaining things to do down here.
Yeah, sports and music.
Sports and music, so we love it. And then we love going down Broadway and hearing the musicians on the street, and I've met both of them, Rick and Gary.
Well, there's a lot more than that down there, but
I know, but those are the two that I know and have met.
Yes, yeah, that's cool. Buskers down there, man.
Yes,
in fact, I think Gary won Busker of the Year this year. So
okay,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's in the one in front of the pizza place.
Yep,
place.
absolutely.
Yeah. So he's a lot of fun. So he's a good friend of the other granddad down here, Mike Freeman. So. Yeah, so all of that has been good. And then, of course, joining Columbus Songwriters Guild has been fabulous. I think Nona does some wonderful things for the community, as do you.
We have a great community of musicians around here, and part of the deal on the show is to be able to let people in the area know that there is life past your couch out here in the Rivertown area. So get out and listen to live music and support these guys. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing, and what got you into it?
Well, I've been playing ever since I was a little kid. My mom started me on piano when I lived in New Jersey, and and she put me on an accordion. And but I started writing music actually. When there was a piano around the house, I was constantly coming up with just melodies, very young. And even on the accordion, when I used to do recitals, the stuff I did on the accordion was my own stuff.
Very cool.
But don't have an accordion anymore. But
that might be a good thing.
It might be a good thing. Though I think I've seen Roland or something that's come up with a new
the virtual one.
Yeah, the virtual one. So I was looking at that the other day, saying, I wonder what all that can do.
Well, speaking of your songwriting, we've got a lot of your music on the show tonight, so I do want to get right to it. What's the first song that you're going to perform for us?
The first song is Jammin' with the Masters.
All right.
Long dog keeping up his morning wail. Coppercat digging on chasing his tail. Last train running left an hour ago. Things like that trouble me no more. You might think that I'm pushing my luck, but I might seem a little out of touch, but I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. Bad news trying to break the day, but I'm not listening to a word they say. Hey, some folks think they can't get enough, but I don't feel the need to hurry and such. You might think that I'm pushing my luck, or I might seem a little out of touch, but I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. Well, foolish when I want to be like candy. Break down when I have time to stop in time. Music is the soul in liberation. Some things that I've just learned to trust, even driving through the diesel dust, I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. When I'm jamming with the masters, jamming with the masters. Yeah, you might think that I'm push on my luck, but I might seem a little out of touch. I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. Finally got a break from the cloud today. No more raining on my parade. My soul is free from the stranglehold, and well, the media and all its greed and gold. You might think that I push on my luck, or I might seem a little out of touch, but I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. Yeah, some things that I've just learned to trust, even driving through the diesel and dust, I always seem to find that diamond cut when I'm jamming with the masters. When I'm jamming with the masters. Jamming with the masters.
So tell me a little bit about your songwriting process and how you wrote that song.
That song just kind of came about. At the time, I was one of 4 or 5 musicians working at Bahama Breeze restaurants up in Atlanta. And actually, that's a nationwide chain. And if you get on board with them, you can play all over the country. But Jammin, so at that time, I was offered a full-time gig with them. So I took them up on it, and it just dawned on me in the morning one time when everybody was busy shuffling around, since we're playing at night now as full-time musicians. I had the morning to myself, and that was just a couple of things happened, drinking coffee. There was a dog howling across the street. There was a cat chasing its tail on the porch. And there was something about MARTA trains running late on the news, and there was the first 3 lines right there.
Yeah, very cool. Well, you must have been a good musician because you were drinking coffee in the morning. I know when I was young and me and my friends were musicians, we weren't always drinking coffee first thing in the morning. But.
No, that's true. But coffee is the great leveler. It puts you back on track, so to speak. But
so you had music in your house?
Yes.
Your
music.
mom played, your dad played?
Yes. Well, and interesting, my dad, we come from a long line of engineers, and my dad always had a tape recorder or camera going, and he met Les Paul
Very cool.
up in New York when the World's Fair was there. My father was an inventor, and Les Paul is an inventor, and they got together. What my father had done was he worked for a telephone company. He had invented this basically for show called Hexaba. It was a robot, and the robot would move its arm back and forth. But anyway, to make a long story short, they were both, Les Paul had his booth. I don't know if it was a Gibson booth or whatever, but they got to talking, and Dad was really into music and the tape recorder, and Les Paul gave him schematics of how to turn his mono tape recorder into a sound-on-sound.
That's pretty
and
darn
so my
cool.
dad built from that, about 1.5 inch frame of extra electronics where he was able to we were able to do a recorder where you could record one track and then another.
Yep.
Now, it wasn't perfect because instead of the heads being stacked, they were a little separated. So you had to anticipate to do the multi-tracking. But I had one of the first multi-track recorders available.
How cool is that?
It is super cool.
That's a brush with greatness early in your life,
Early-
and for
very
your father
early.
as
Yeah.
well.
Well, he was definitely brilliant, and he had several patents, and
That's awesome.
we go way back. So
So you got another song in the bag for us, and I don't mean to change the subject there, but I want to hear a lot of your music. I'm enjoying your songwriting. So what's the next one you want to do for us?
next song is called Hollywood Divine.
And how did that come about?
That song.
Did you spend time in Hollywood?
I did.
Okay.
And Hollywood is actually what finished it. That was a song I had a long time ago, working with an original group called Monster. That was me and a good friend of mine, Les Scarborough, my brother. And we had pounded that out years and years ago, but the words never made any sense. And what was missing was the very first line. And Vicki and I travel a lot, and we were into Hollywood and doing the Walk of Fame. And I was right there at Hollywood and Vine. Mm-hmm. And I just said to her, now I've walked on Hollywood and Vine. And I said, that's it. and the rest of the thing just kind of falls together.
All right, I'm looking forward.
I walked on Hollywood and Vine. I could not even speak my mind. Why did I waste one whole summer just to try to make it mine? I could have qualified for resistance, but I could not get there on time. Whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to ride behind the wheel of my automobile. I just might do some misbehaving, get the law down on my heels. When my feelings are shut way down and broken, I just get me a piece of the rock. That's how I roll, like a rolling stone, just like those boys from my English home. Well, I guess I could be happy just to waste away, yeah, right here in Georgia. Whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Hollywood's divine, but she's never gonna be mine. I remember this, there was never a kiss goodbye. Oh yeah, whoa yeah, whoa yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa yeah, whoa yeah, whoa yeah, yeah, yeah. I loved her, Hollywood divine. She was always on my mind. Raven hair and diamonds, on the silver screen she would shine. Yeah, nothing with her was wasted. She was the you can't forget me kind. That's just a roll. She's a rolling stone, just like those boys from my English home. Well, I guess I could be happy just to waste away. Well, I guess I could be happy just to fade away. Yes, I know I will be happy when I can get away. Whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah. It's just in the scheme of things. We are two together, we live separate lives. Let's spend time in heaven while we pass the time. How you do fit nicely, oh, in the scheme of things. From high to low, the river flows, and no, sometimes it's just in the scheme of things. Baby, but I'll leave this up to you. 'Cause if you got nobody, then you got nothing to lose. This is not forever, baby. Let's have some fun tonight. Wrong. I think it's okay, baby, if you want to play along. Maybe not forever, baby, but
So the second tune that you just did for us was
Hollywood Divine.
in the scheme of things.
Oh, the third one, the Scheme of Things, yes.
Awesome. And how did that one come up?
The Scheme of Things has been an idea brewing for quite some time, but I started working with a drummer named Wes Armstrong, who has this fabulous set of electronic drums, and he's just a human timekeeper. And the way that I was able to record it enabled me to make the song into a big band. Lots of tracks. And a lot of people played their hearts out on that song. But interesting way that we recorded it is I would go over there with an acoustic guitar and do the framework of the song and just kind of mumble some lyrics. And we would only record the drums. So then the drums, I would take the drums on a flash drive and take them back to my studio and start building the rest of the song. And as it needed things, that's where I came up with putting horn parts and all of that in. But so to make a long story short, that my brother-in-law played bass on it. He did it in his studio and just gave me the bass track.
So that early days with Les Paul and the multi-track
Yes.
recording really sat in with you.
It really did. It really did. And as things, I mean, I don't know how many Porta Studios I've had. And so now I use Logic's. But I've also figured out that to get the best results, find an engineer that has a studio that can do, that is really, really good and save yourself a lot of time.
So I want to get into more music, but do you have a process? I mean, obviously you're a songwriter. Do you have a process? Do you normally come up with a hook or the lyrics or the rhythm or the feel for the song? I mean, do you have a process of what comes first and how you build it? Or is every time a different?
Well, you know, that's kind of true, though I usually just seem to, depending on if I'm noodling around on a keyboard or whatever instrument, a guitar, whatever, I'll come up with something that makes sense. And then it may be right then when I get a melody and a chorus or a word that fits. And then the rest of it is writing. Either being older now, I have to draw from experiences that went back. My newer experiences.
You have a more vast experience to draw from.
Yes, I'm afraid so. So yes, so new things rarely come along. So a lot of this is retro and unfinished clips and somehow to put it all together. But I do want to mention Maduka, who is an artist that I worked with on the Scheme of Things. When I realized I needed something extra, and I had actually added a piece in there that was a mistake that we didn't know what to do with, I called her up. Now, she's a jazz keyboardist, and she is fabulous. She's a beautiful woman. She's a nice person, and she's an incredible musician. And she's played with Herbie Hancock, and she's just, you know, she has several albums out. Anyway, I asked her to come into the studio, and that was Reveal Audio in Marietta, and the engineer is David Leonard, and he's fabulous, and he works very fast. But first take, Maduka comes up with this, and I just said, "What do you think?" I said, "That's it. You know, that's it.
Right.
You know, here's your money. Bye." You know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what else do you want to play for us?
Let's go with a blues number called "One More Night."
Okay.
It's been a long night in this bar room. Now they're sweeping round my chair. Glass and a whiskey bottles. They tell me I'm the last one here. Through my haze I thought I saw you passing on the street outside. My heart leapt for a moment. It was then that I realized I still need your love. One more night, if we could be together. One more night, the night would last forever. One more night. It was earlier this evening. Along came an angel of the night. She She asked, did you want a good time? But all I could do is sit and cry. She said, don't worry, baby. No, it's never as hard as it seems. You don't understand. She was everything to me. And if I had one more night that we could be together, one more night, the night would last forever. One more night. We had made plans together, but in time we tore that all apart. One more drink from the whiskey bottle, yeah, turns this misery into art. I just need one more night that we could be together. One more night, the night would last forever. One more night. I tattooed this misery forever on my chest, a broken heart. No more love from the bottle. No more love for this art. I just need one more night that we could be together. One more night, the night would last forever. One more night.
So I like your songwriting style. The doo-wop stuff, you have a pretty wide range of styles and feels, and I really like that. If somebody wants to hire you for their party or hear you play or buy some of your music, I know you have some CDs available and stuff, where can they go to reach out to you and connect and get information or look you up?
Well, the easiest thing seems to be Facebook. So on Facebook, I'm Tommy Gordon. I actually took down my website temporarily, but Coppercat Music, which is my publishing company, is also on Facebook. So that's the best way to reach me right now.
So Coppercat Music or Tommy Gordon
Yes.
on Facebook. You do have some CDs available,
Yes, I do.
and they are available for how much money? And will you mail them to people? Do you take PayPal and all that kind of stuff?
I actually have not set up to do that. They're available online, through CD Baby and iTunes
Okay.
and Spotify. That's already up there. And then,
So that's probably the easiest way to go about getting the music.
yeah, that's the easiest way. And then, of course, I appreciate anyone that just goes and listens to it. The scheme of things is now on Pandora, and it's on it's on a regular.
Rotation there?
Thank you, rotation. I just got information about that last week, so.
Well, congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
So I'm hoping that's called mailbox money, and it's very appreciated.
Well, I look forward to seeing you again on Songwriter Showdown and see how you're doing there and see how your career goes around here. But obviously, you've got it going on. I really appreciate you for coming on and being on the show, Tommy, and stick around with us and get back to us. Let us hear more of your music as it comes out.
I sure will. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. And what are you going to play us out with?
Well, I have Is Everything All Right? And then I think we had a bonus track called Holiday.
Perfect.
I look good sometimes, sometimes I don't look hard enough. When I look for you, darling, 'cause I know I'm wanting you so much. If you want me like I want you, if you want me, I will want you too. So I look for you, darling, 'cause I know you can bring me up. If you want me like I want you to, if you want me, I just want you to. I just want you to. Now here's the thing, we can make our bodies sing the melody of life. Then everything is everything alright? Is everything alright? I hope one day we can make it all the way. With you by my side, darling, we can make it all the way. If you want me like I want you to, if you want me, I just want you to. I just want you to. Now here's the thing, we can make our bodies sing the melody of life. Then everything is everything alright? Is everything alright? Everything. Is everything? Is everything alright? Is everything alright?
Thanks for sticking with us on No Cover Music Magazine. We'll see you next week.
I don't understand the things that I've learned over just a few years. I don't undermine the time spent on learning, but I need to rest for a time. Holiday, rest all day, keep myself on track. Holiday, rest all day, put myself in a trance. So far is my own way of thinking that keeps myself to myself. Oh, I don't know why I knock myself out and keep on with the world. I think I'll pass out.